Hey there guys, how's it going? Sankey here. Good morning, afternoon, evening, and night to you all, and welcome back to another episode of American FM. We are back in the 7th Division after our thrashing to Houston 6-1. Not exactly the best game we've ever played. Probably one of the worst losses we'll ever suffer in this series, but actually before we get into the game, I should say that game actually gave us about $300,000 in gate receipts because of the 16,000 fans that showed up. And I believe, just similar to the FA Cup in England, you get a portion of the gate receipts in the US Cup. So it basically tripled or quadrupled our money. I mean, you can see this profit here is about $300,000. I'm sorry. And I use that actually to upgrade the training and youth facilities, so they'll be done in about a year's time. Anyway, back to what we played off camera. We had a bit of a rough time, I would say. I wouldn't say completely rough, but I mean, we still haven't lost in the league, but the performances weren't exactly great, especially on the road. We haven't won a road game since the first road game we played, and that's the only road game we've won so far. Kind of, it's foreboding going into our away game against top-of-the-table Pensacola. But we started off with a 3-3 draw against Hartford City. They were up 3-0 at halftime, and I really ran into the team at that point, and thank God they listened because Manfred, Kveco, and Schmidt all scored. Schmidt with an incredible off-the-bench final goal to tie the game 3-3, and we made out of it with a draw, thank the Lord. Easy 3-1 win against Group American Atlas. Pretty easy. Pretty good. 2-2 draw to Miami-Dade. This got heartbreaking. Scored a penalty early on. It was 0-0 for a ton of the game. It seemed back and forth. Rushai Brown gave up a penalty, but then Vinny Bell and Koniarsic, who both came off the bench, got us back to 2-1. These guys really showed up to play. They only played like half an hour plus. Actually, more like 40 minutes based on the game. And then they unfortunately had I wouldn't say lucky, but a 95th minute goal that got us another draw. They really deserved to win this game just based on how they played, and I think the draw was probably a good result for us. Then another draw on the road against Philadelphia. Nothing really much to say here. We had all the chances, really, or we didn't have that many chances, but there weren't a whole lot of chances in the game in general. And then we followed it up with a good comeback win at home in front of 600-plus fans against Bridgeport. So a 2-0 victory there. Colton Lung getting a goal, as well as Kotaro Umeda. But we now have games against Chesterfield, who are lower in the table, and Pensacola, who are now top of the table. We sit in third. We have a game in hand, so if we win this game, we'll have a game in hand and go ahead of Pensacola. Miami-Dade is our only real threat at this point because we are even on games, and they have one more point than us. Moving into the game now against Chesterfield, I decided to go back to the wide 5-2-3 or 5-4-1 as it says here, exploring the left and right flanks because they do play a 4-4-2 and they do play very tight at the back. Pre-scouting report, here it is, 4-4-2, and you can see they have two deep-lying defensive midfielders with two central this just looks like a nightmare on the defensive side of the ball. Despite the fact their star man is a wide midfielder, I do think that this would be a detriment if we had three strikers in here. It might balance it out, but I think we would be way better on the wings, especially with guys having yellow cards on the back. A lot of guys, actually. Also, I don't know if you saw scrolling through that, but we actually have some transfer action. We have confirmed a signing of a new striker, 17-year-old Tim Navarro, coming in January from Juventus Sports Club somewhere in the lower leagues of the U.S. system. He is, I think, pretty good. I think we haven't had a whole lot of success with most first strikers. Manfoot's been the big example of, the only real example. I think Bell's doing pretty well, but other than that, we've kind of been struggling as a striker, and with at least 13 finishing, I think that'll help us out. The problem is dribbling's not good, first touch isn't good, but he's a young prospect. I think he'll be pretty good to just sort of bring up. But yeah, here's our squad for the game here against Chesterfield. We have Long, Brown, and McGivern at the back. These guys seem to be the best three right now. Oatcalt actually, too, took over in goal. But I gave him time, and he's actually been doing really well. As you can see, I'm going back to the schedule. He came in here, and he's got 2 clean sheets since starting off. Back three, Greco and Banton, who made a Solhovich, and then Grant and Schmidt on the wings, and of course Manfoot, who has 7 goals so far this season in all competitions, 6th in the league in 8 games. He will start up front. So let's get into the game. So I sort of hyped him up a bit, not too much, and we will get out here onto Edgewater Park and hopefully have a good game out here against Chesterfield. They're looking to go attacking early on. And I think highlight here is Alberts goes out to Jimenez. They're starting to pressure. I'm seeing the pressure here. They're playing it seems like they're playing very far back because they're not really having a whole lot of pressure here. And Banton with a huge kick forward. It's not offside. Manfoot's through on goal, and he gets it under the keeper's arm. Antonio Manfoot with his 8th goal of the season in all competitions. 7th in the league. And they move up 1-0 on Chesterfield. As you can see, they've been playing very far back, and Banton with a great hit there. Manfoot was just there over the top. I like that and like the risk taking there. But early on, less than 15 minutes in, and it's 1-0 to Cleveland SC. Another highlight here is Brown gets the ball back. Umeda and Suljovic sort of spying the area around. He looks over. He finds Grant on the left-hand wing. He crosses it over, and he finds Schmidt. It goes off the top bar, hits the line, and goes out for a corner. So unfortunate there. Grant with a great crossover to Schmidt, and Schmidt just couldn't finish it off. Highlight here, this time for Chesterfield. Hopefully not a penalty situation. He goes over to Gonzalez, and it's over the bar. But halftime here, 1-0. I think we could do better, but I'm going to be calm in the locker room and see how that goes. I would say, I'll say don't get complacent out there. And Long and Suljovic are stressed, so I'll still say I have faith in them. Yeah, but unfortunately I didn't help the other guys. But I think most of the team is pretty good with the fact that they might get complacent, especially up only 1-0 to a low-table side. Ben to Brown. Out to McGivern. McGivern launches it, and Manfoot again through on goal. He'll take a shot, and I think did he get a hand on it? I don't think so. Or no, he did. Okay, yeah, I thought I saw it, and then Grant swings one in, and it's just going to get headed out, and that'll be the end of that. Schmidt on a 6-3, and we really don't have anyone to really... Oh, no, wait, Timmy Williams. Timmy Williams is actually pretty good on the wing, so I always play him at right wing back when Banton's not out, or not ready to play, or something like that, or he's not able to play. But Williams is actually more of an attacker, so I'm going to put him out there. See how he does. Brown's not having the best game, and I think Larson can at least do a job, so we'll put him out there. Sorry, there's sirens going off. I'm going to put Koniarsic on for Umeda. Umeda's had a good game, but I think he needs to be a little bit more fresh in the midfield. And just as I do that, highlight here, they're playing from the back. And they launch one forward, and our center backs can't do anything. Alvarado and Oatcalt with a good stop there. Not really the best shot, though, I will say. Corner here for Chesterfield. Oh, no, they switched the cameras. Oh, dear. Oh, Long heads it away. Okay. I was like, oh, my God, they switched cameras. That's usually the goal from corner camera. A launched throw-in. Now, hopefully, Colton can just get that out, and he does. Unfortunately, he does not get to Manfoot. Oatcalt, surprisingly, completely towards the edge of the box, but a great aggressive move there. And now it's sort of our way. Koniarsic to Williams. Williams is really far back, though. Band's on his level. They're sort of moving down the side, so I like that. Band's in, and Manfoot's in, and it's over the bar again. Manfoot, that seems to be his one weakness. He just hits it over the bar a ton. And again, a highlight here. Again, they're playing out from the back, which is a bit disheartening to me because they can just launch it forward, apparently. And then Larson gets it to Koniarsic. He's over the top. He finds Manfoot, and it goes down, and they do not call a foul. Apparently, a good tackle. But Manfoot gets it again, and Timmy Williams finally gets an assist. Manfoot with a double now. His 8th goal in the league in 9 games. That's unbelievable. But Williams getting on this, I thought that might have been a foul, but I don't. It was probably just a good tackle. But Manfred at the back post, 2-0. Game is pretty sealed at this point, but I'm still gonna have. I still need to have them keep going. Sulovic late in the game, probably just gonna head it out. Sulovic again, is he gonna cross it in? No, he's gonna take it in himself. He goes to Larson and it's over the bar. I don't know if he was offside or not, but that should do it. 2-0 to Cleveland SC, and Pensacola lost their game. So I just saw that glimpse across the screen. We are now top of the table, and with a game in hand going into this Pensacola City game. So appreciate the efforts. I say it wasn't too good, but I'll say I'm very happy with the results. Calmly say that. Keep them focused for our next game against Pensacola City. So yeah, Pensacola's next. I will get us all over to that game. See how that goes. So I actually, off camera, has been looking at this guy, Andrew Nelson, and so he just looks like a great player, if I'm being honest. Like, if you look at him, 16 natural fitness, 16 determination. He's got 12 finishing, 8 first touch, 10 heading. This man looks like a target man waiting to happen. 6 foot. He's apparently better now than Antonio Manfoot. And, I mean, 13 acceleration, 11 pace, I kind of agree. So, from a Jersey Blues, some team just doesn't even have a team, they don't have a division. But has scored no goals for them, which is kind of unfortunate in their league. But non-competitively, he had 5 and 6. Cuppy at 3 and 6. I'm hoping he can do well for our team, and so we're paying a lot of money to have him in. So Andrew Nelson will come in on January 1st along with Tim Navarro. You see that that's confirmed. And then another guy I was looking at was Pascual Torres. He's actually an attacking midfielder. But I think if ever I wanted to... I've always thought about like the 4-3-3 in a sense of... or not the 4-3-3, the 5-2-3. But I like the 5-2-1-2 or the 5-2-3 with the sort of triangle with one man here, 2 here. Because I thought 3 up top was just congested, and it never really works. And particularly with Manfoot was the only guy who was good, and the other 2 strikers were sort of lackluster. I think a 2-person partnership up here would be great, and then Torres being the man in the middle if I wanted to exploit that middle. Like, I'd either do the winger option or I'd do the one midfielder. So Torres just looks insane with a lot of his stats. A lot of consistently good stats. Insane free kicker, too. So I like that. And so we'll have a great guy to have on direct free kicks. So Pascual Torres, welcome to the team in January. Alright, guys, we're back finally at the signings. A week on from our last match. Top clash in the division today will be Pensacola versus Cleveland, 1 versus 2. The absolute domination of both teams has been well documented at the start of the season. And yet they can only sell 172 fucking tickets for this game in Pensacola. My God, come on. I thought this was going to be a cracker. If this was at home, we'd probably have a couple thousand, I think. This is a pretty prime game. Undefeated versus a team that had won, I think, their first 5 or 6 games. Our starting lineup is going to be the same as last week. Oatkout, Longbrown, Givern, Kveco, Banton, Umeda, Silhovic, Grant, Schmidt, Manfoot up top. The one change to the subs is going to be Matt Curran comes back from the under-20s and replaces Libertowski. I realize that he's actually good on the left wing and will be a great sub in for Grant if he ever gets tired. So him and Timmy Williams will actually be quite the pairing to have. So anyway, we will do that, and then we will get into the game. Time to really be passionate for these guys. This is a crucial game. I'm thinking this is the highest stakes game we're going to have all year, or at least until the next time around we play them. So let's go with Run a Good Run lately. And well, thanks guys. Thanks me. Way to fuck up the biggest game of the year. And I turned it around completely. That's awesome. Just say I have faith. That's pretty good. I'm thinking that this will be the game that we could either turn that around or solidify ourselves as home warriors and road cowards. I don't know what to call it. Just the opposite of warriors. The opposite of a road warrior. And just like that, Pensacola have the ball, and they are going to launch it forward, and they have Harris going through, and he's their star man. He shoots an Oakout with a good save there. But just like that, another corner. Figueroa, and Rushoy Brown. My God, man, he has had the worst games sometimes. What in the world happened there? I don't even know what happened. He crossed it in, and it looked like Oakout made a good save. It kicked off of Brown. I don't know what happened. Actually, we're going to go back. So he comes in. Garza hits it, and it just bounces off of Rushoy. He just, I don't know. I wouldn't even call that a bad play by Rushoy. I just bounced off him. He just ricocheted it. Straight up nightmare right now for us. Garza launching it long. He finds West pretty much unguarded, and now it goes out for a corner. I'm just kind of scared of that because now they really didn't do much on the initial play. Figueroa's going to hit it in, and Long's going to hit it away. Harris just launches it a goal, and that's going to be nothing. Oakout now on the ball. Launches one long. Manfoot goes up for it. He's a bit short for that, but Sulovic gets it. Manfoot on the edge. He's got two guys on the wing, and he doesn't get the ball to them. Ban out. Kotaro Umeda decides to get it back. Another guy on the wing there is Chris Kveco. Kveco again, man, we are just not having good luck out there, and they're passing it around very dangerously, but they're going to launch it forward. And West, what is this guy's pace, man? We cannot catch up to these guys, and that was a wasted chance right there. In arguably the worst game we played all year in this league. I don't know about that. Hartford City was kind of bad. Philly Fury was pretty bad too, but I don't want to get my first loss against a top team, so I'm going to lay into these guys. These guys were awful. They show a bit of desire. You seem to motivate it. Ben, why? I don't understand. You're one of the worst guys on the field right now, so I'm going to make a change, though. Colton Long has been kind of off, so I'm going to bring on Larson. And I'm going to I'm just going to put him on the edge here. Larson on the free kick back. He just launches it forward, and Manfoot gets a hold of it. What are you doing? You have a chance to just sort of go after him and maybe wait for guys to come in, and you just take the shot right at him. And now the highlight's continuing, so I'm assuming, okay, no, it's going to be back towards our way. Joe Schmidt here on the ball. He keeps going, and he evades some defenders. Sulovic up to Manfoot, and it's over! And Manfoot makes up for his mistake there! Admir Sulovic with a great pass in, and Antonio Manfoot with an unbelievable header over the keeper. That was insane. Man, what a show of class there. Sulovic on the first time getting it over, and Manfoot, who's only, I don't even know what his height is, but he's not the tallest guy, hits it over the keeper's head, and it's now 1-1. Do I want to bring in Curran? I think I do. We'll bring Curran on, and we'll see how that goes. Pretty even, too. 20 minutes to go. Austin now on the ball. He kicks it long. West, or no, that's not West. Was that West? Or whoever that was hit it away, but Pineda now on the ball. He starts to roam back. Gallegos over the top. He finds Harris, and he just strikes it in. My God, who was that marking him? Like, come on. I think that was McGivern. Just completely lets Harris beat him, and we have a goal. I think we need to play deeper. That's the problem. Terrible game right now. Going to take Schmidt off for Timmy Williams. I think we just need help up top, and I think these guys will help. I'm hoping they'll do the job, and man, we just need to get out of here with a point. That's the issue. And right now, Bannon and Larson, the whole back line has been absolutely terrible. I'm hoping that we can at least get one more chance out of this, but it looks like we're not. Unless we can get a miracle last chance here. Williams goes off, and it's not going to happen because Williams couldn't do it. Unless Manfoot can somehow turn it around and get it back into the area in the next 5 seconds, which he won't, and that'll be the end of it. Pensacola gets the better of us here, and we have our first loss of the year, and it is on the road. A terrible game from this team, probably the worst I've seen of this team. And I'm going to lay into him because this is our first loss of the year. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased. And Van might seem demotivated, and Sulovic might be demotivated or stressed as well. Van, I'm going to tell him straight up. I'm just going to select him and say you were awful. I don't care if you're unhappy. I don't care. I want to lay into you. Actually, into the whole defense, I'll say you guys were terrible because it wasn't good. I don't care how all of you are stressed or demotivated. That was awful. And we could have at least got away with a point, I think, but I think the attacking guys seem like they're pretty fired up for how bad they did, and even though they were the ones who actually kept us in the game. But we are now down to second position, tied with Miami-Dade, who we both have a game in hand. But fortunately, if we take advantage of our game in hand and win our game, we'll be top of the table ahead of Pensacola. But I wanted to have a bit of a gap between us and Pensacola. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. First loss of the year. Sorry you guys have to see that. But I'll see now, go to the schedule, see what the next game we'll play will be. You know what? Actually, I want to go straight into the transfer window. I want to have Miami Athletic, and then we'll play through the start of the transfer window, maybe start some transfer business. But it will allow us to have a first game action with our new attacking players. So Miami Athletic and Baltimore Colts FC will be our next two games. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I pray you will come back for another. And good morning, afternoon, evening, and night to you all.